My name is Sean Muller. I'm the Technical Director of QWERTY Tyre Solutions. Today we're going to be showing you the new Str8-Lign wheel alignment system. What's quite unique about it is it comes to you as a complete package. So within the system you get everything you need to do rear and front toe, camber, caster, clear vision and thrust angle. I'm going to start with our laser attachments. So the way the system has been designed is we can attach to any 4, 6 or 5 stud vehicle. It's got a magnetized system which you can move without removing the pegs, and you can literally just slide from a 4 stud to a 5 stud to a 6 stud. We're doing a practical demonstration later and you'll see this in action and exactly how it attaches to the vehicle. When attaching to any vehicle, the first thing that we do is we make sure that all the nuts are evenly torqued, as if one of these nuts is loose for any reason, it will throw out our reading. And because we're working in such small margins and such critical errors, we torque each of the nuts. The next thing we do is check to see if any of the wheel nuts are damaged, or to see if any of them are specialized nuts like anti-theft nuts. In this particular case, this nut is an anti-theft nut, and because we're only using 3 magnets, we can avoid that nut. So I'm going to attach in the most logical position, which would be there, and I'll quickly adjust the unit to be level, and then I'll turn our lasers on. The moment we turn the laser on, we get an immediate visual of exactly where this tyre is sitting in terms of toe in and toe out. And then we simply attach the unit. With the kit, you get 2 of the front targets, you get 2 adjustable or sliding rear targets, you get 2 turn plates, a steering wheel clamp, a camber caster gauge combination, as well as a measuring tool which we'll show you just now, and we'll show you how we use that to check setback and caster problems. What we do is we place this unit on the front plate, and what we're doing is we're measuring the distance from the center of the front wheel to our target at the rear. And essentially what that'll do is that'll tell us if there's any difference between the left and the right hand side of the vehicle. With any wheel alignment, it's pretty standard procedure that you put the front wheels onto turn plates. So the way that the turn plates have been designed, they've got some stoppers in them. So once the front wheels are on the turn plates, one for the left and one for the right, it'll actually stop at 20 degrees. And you can go the other way and it'll stop at 20 degrees. Those are removable pegs, so if you do want them to be able to spin, you can also remove the pegs and have them spin completely. The most important thing of our entire system is that the front units that attach to the front wheels of the vehicle are fixed. And what we have to do is essentially, like you used to do in racing, when people use string, is we have to adjust the back unit so that we create a perfect square. So what I'm going to show you now is that is our front unit, it's fixed. This is our rear unit, and on the rear unit we've got a marker which starts at 0, and you can then adjust for a varying axle width, either forwards or backwards. So when we put them on the car, the first thing that we do is we look up the manufacturer's specifications. Now I've got a couple of different applications that sit on my phone, and we also use a product called Auto Data. So the first thing we do, if we work on a VW, we look up the specs, check that the front and back axles are the same width or if there's any variance. And I'm going to use, for example, if we had a 10mm wider back, we'd start on our 0 point and we'd literally just slide 5mm in. So we're sliding 5mm in on the left and we're on the right, and we'd slide 5mm in on the left, and that then compensates for our 10mm wider axle. If the back axle was narrow, we'd slide it outwards. Once that's done, the moment you turn the lasers on, it shows you exactly what your rear and front toe settings are. The way the system has been designed, the magnets will attach to almost any vehicle. It does come with extender pins, so if you have vehicles with odd shaped mags, or if you have vehicles with an external diff lock, you just take out the shorter pins and you can put in the longer pins. We've also found with some modern vehicles that the wheel nuts themselves are actually composites, and If you find that they're not attaching as firmly as what you'd like, it comes with some little elastics, and the units have 4 J hooks on them, and it's very simple to attach. It's simply a case of putting the elastic into the J hook and then putting it through your mag and pulling it up tight. So for any vehicle, we have an adapter or a solution that'll work for you. If you're going to be doing adjustments to the wheel alignments, if you're checking, you've got all the equipment you need. If you're going to make adjustments, we always recommend that you clamp the steering wheel. It's a very simple device. It just goes onto the seat of the car, and then you just push it up into place and make sure the steering wheel is clamped in a clear vision position. If you do that correctly, once you've taken your readings, your left and right hand side will be the same, and the person driving the vehicle will have a nice horizontal steering wheel. It comes with some gauges. Now, the camber gauge is extremely simple to use. The way that the plates have been designed, this plate, or the base of the plate, is always 90 degrees to the wheel. So simply by putting this magnetized camber gauge onto the base plate, we immediately pick up whether we are positive or negative, and it'll tell you by how many degrees, which is simply placed on the unit, and that will essentially give us the camber of each of the wheels. The same gauge can be used to do caster, and when you receive your equipment, in the pack that you receive, there's details instructions on how to use exactly the same gauge, and you can use it on the front wheel adapters, and you can take a camber and also a caster reading. It's very quick and simple to use. Everything that you see is also battery operated. So whether you're using the toe gauges or the camber caster or setback gauges, everything is battery operated, and we're independent of any fixed power source. To replace the batteries is a simple procedure. Just unscrew the back of the unit. The battery inside here is spring loaded, so you simply pop it out, take the new battery and slide it in and replace the cover. The next gauge I'm going to show you is a simple measuring tool, and essentially when we attach the units to the vehicle, it self-centers to the middle of the wheel. So if we've got that on the front wheel of the vehicle, and we attach the rear unit to the back of the vehicle, we can now take a measurement from the center of the front wheel to the center of the back wheel. It's got a minus function on the gauge, and we repeat the process on the opposite side of the vehicle. So if we've got a 2-meter wheelbase from front to back, and the opposite side is 2 meters, then we know there's no setback, and we know that there's no caster issues either. If we get a variance, and a substantial variance, immediately we know we've got to check caster with our gauges, or if the caster is correct, then we know that this has given us an indication of a setback problem. As mentioned, it comes as a complete set. So typically in a real world environment, if you bring the car into the turn plates, you clamp the steering wheel, you attach our units using the magnets, it takes roughly 5 minutes for you to do a full diagnostics of a vehicle. The moment you attach the toe targets, immediately you'll pick up if there's any major problems with either front or rear toe on the vehicle. Setback is a major test because obviously we want to find out if any of the axles and things are out of position. And again, the whole process to check everything takes about 5 minutes. Okay, one of the things that we're most proud of at QWERTY and with the Str8-Lign system is just how accurate we've been able to be. So everything is precision engineered. There's extremely small tolerances involved when doing wheel alignment. And you'll see in the video when we slide a piece of paper between the magnets and the wheel nuts, just how much it throws our readings out. So the accuracy, and we've done a lot of testing, we've spent about 2 years in research and development and testing. We're extremely proud of the accuracy, and there's a lot of confidence that when you set up a client's vehicle to the manufacturer's recommendation, that they drive away a safe and happy customer.